Cheaper than groceries. That was the headline of this email that I picked up today. The cost of groceries has gone up significantly. I don't think there's any way we could argue that it hasn't. In the year 2023 alone, the cost of groceries across the board has gone up a reported 5.8%. However, that's the average. So if you're talking about specific items, they've gone up a whole lot more than that. So when I get an email that says, this is cheaper than groceries, I want to investigate it, share it with you, I'm bringing you along with me. This is not sponsored. This is me doing my own research and sharing it with you. The dog is eating food and I'm sorry that it is crunchy. In all fairness, this email did come from EveryPlate and they are saying they are going to give me my next box for as low as $1.89 a meal. That probably means the serving. I've played the same game myself. Let's hit the come back button and see what happens. Okay, the first thing I noticed once I click through is Rakuten is offering me $5 cash back. Rakuten is an online cashback shopping thing like Honey or Top Cashback. Rakuten used to be known as EveryPlate. It says I can stack promo codes on top of cashback for max savings. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that cashback. If you've never used Rakuten before, I do have a code right now. They're giving you $40 bonus if you sign up with my code. Now that I'm on the EveryPlate website, for the meat and veggie plan, they're actually giving me $2.19 per serving. So what does that look like for an entire box? Like, I kind of want, do I want the meat and veggie? What does Family Faves look like? What does Quick and Easy look like? They're about the same price. I'm going to hit the reactivate button. It's telling me that one box will be $24. So let's see what this looks like. For $24, what can I get? Congratulations, it's been activated. So I have 6 people in my family. So I'm going to edit the meals. They typically don't have an option for 6 people. I usually do like 1 meal for 6 people. Okay, I'm gonna go with this sriracha pork stir fry. My family loves a stir fry bowl, a rice bowl with meat and veggies. It's a huge win in my family. I have 6 servings. I'm using ground pork as my protein. I'm gonna go ahead and save it, skip all the add-ons. What's the total price? What am I looking at? $24.92. That's what I'm getting. Can I create this exact meal, everything in the box, for cheaper than $24.92? Feels like the perfect challenge right up my alley. So as soon as the box shows up, I'll see you then. My EveryPlate box just showed up and here is my recipe card. So I'm gonna use this for my grocery shopping list for today and see what it's going to cost me to pick up all of the ingredients for this meal. One of the good things about the meal box kits is sweet soy glaze, sriracha. They come in really small amounts, so I don't have to buy an entire jar, but I might have to buy an entire jar to make this meal. So that feels not exactly the same, but we're gonna do the best we can. I'm also not going to be purchasing the peanuts because I'm probably not gonna use them in the dish anyway, so I'm just gonna eliminate that. We'll go purchase the items, see what our dollar amount is, and then make this meal.
For this shopping, I headed to the Wally Mart, and I was surprised to see some okay prices on some of this produce. Limes, 25 cents each. Green onions, 88 cents a bunch. These are fantastic prices for me, and I know the garlic price looks super high, but it's not per bulb, it's by pound, so it's actually not that expensive. And because the shredded carrots were not too expensive, I got the shredded because that's how it came in the box. Couldn't find shredded purple cabbage, so unfortunately, I was going to have to cut that one up myself. The sauce is the one that really threw me for a loop. I couldn't really find like a sweet soy glaze that was kind of similar to the box, so I did the best I can. I got Kung Pao sauce because there was sriracha and the other one. You know, I did the best I could with what I could find at Walmart.
We've had quite the snag. So Walmart didn't have ground pork, so I came to a different store. This store doesn't have ground pork. I'm about to head to my 3rd store looking for ground pork. So I'm hoping this last store has ground pork, and if they don't, I just may have to substitute for something else because I literally can't find it. I was trying so hard not to substitute the ingredients in this video. Fingers crossed, the 3rd store has ground pork. So does your Walmart carry ground pork? My Walmart is kind of smaller. And also, my Walmart has gone 100% self-checkout. I hate it so much. I'm fine if you wanna go half-seas, but when you're shopping for a family of 6, self-checkout with an enormous cart of food for 6 people
is literally the worst. Anyway, on to the third store. Here we go. We are back from the grocery store and I've ended up with all of my ingredients, recreating the box myself for this EveryPlate meal. I noticed two things as this happened. So the first thing is it took me 3 stores to even find ground pork. And the store I went to was $5 a pound, which means these 2 packages of ground pork were $10, putting my at-home box creation at exactly $24, which is exactly what my box cost, $24. And I didn't have the inconvenience of going to 3 stores to find it. However, there's something to be said here because this is not typically the way that I shop. I don't just go to the store and pick out the ingredient that I want for dinner, even if the protein's gonna cost me $10. I shop around, I look for sales. So as an example, I found at my local Kroger store, the ground pork was $1.99 a pound. So if I got 2 pounds, we're talking $4 instead of $10. That's a $6 savings. That's a whole nother dinner that I could put together. I know it doesn't feel like a lot in this instance. When you multiply $6 per meal over 30 meals in a month for 6 people, that's significant. That's close to $200 in an entire month, and that is definitely quite a bit of money you could put towards something else, which is one of the reasons I buy things like ground pork on sale. So a lot of the time, if I'm recreating a meal box kit, I will already have the ground pork in my freezer because I pick things up when they are on sale. I rarely buy them at full price. If I just went and bought all the ingredients, $24 for the EveryPlate box, $24 just buying all of the ingredients. Unless I bought it on sale, that would have put me at $18 for the on sale pork. Another thing I had a hard time with was the sauce. I couldn't really find anything that was similar, so I just picked up this P.F. Chang's Kung Pao sauce, hoping it will be slightly similar. Okay, that's the money talk for this. Now let's make the dinner and see how it tastes. Garlic massacre of 2023. Over here, I thought I would put together the EveryPlate box on this side and the homemade version on this side. Don't forget your Dollar Tree meat masher. I'm really not sure if this comes across on camera. This was fresh ground at the deli counter, or the meat counter. And this is much lighter in color. I suspect there's way less fat in this one than this one that came in my EveryPlate box is much darker in color. Maybe it's been sitting longer, it was frozen, I'm not sure, but the colors are quite different. Okay, time to add the scallions and garlic. I am adding the green and white part of the green onions because I don't like raw onions, so I'm just gonna cook all of it right now. Fish on land. The family has eaten dinner and they have weighed in. There was no clear favorite between the two, whether it was the meal box kit with EveryPlate or the homemade semi-Kung Pao version that I made myself with the sauce. The only difference was the flavor was slightly different. They said the Kung Pao sauce was a little spicier, a little sweeter, and they said the EveryPlate box was a little earthier, maybe a touch more salty. So unless you have the inside information on what is in their sweet soy glaze from EveryPlate, it's really hard to duplicate that. One way you could have done it is just to take soy sauce, brown sugar, maybe some sesame oil, a little bit of ginger, mix that together. It wouldn't have been as thick, but the flavor probably would have been a little closer than my bottled sauce. I was just trying to make it easy. So let me show you what I have left over. First of all, I basically made a meal for 12 people, so I have lots of food left over, but from the EveryPlate box, I have 0 ingredients left. We used everything. From the homemade version, I have still this like 8 ton of the shredded purple cabbage. This is a whole other meal. I still have half my bag of shredded carrots, so I could use this on anything. I could make homemade salads. I'm really feeling like carrot muffins would be super delicious.
I have still half my bag of jasmine rice. I could have made it cheaper by going with a long grain rice. Buying it in bulk is so much less expensive than buying a smaller package like this, but I still have a ton of rice. Another thing I thought was really interesting was the amount of waste. So this is the amount of like plastic waste products. For the homemade version, I have, this is glass actually. So if you recycle glass, that would be easy to recycle. I have the pork container right there. And then just like a little wrapper from the garlic, which I thought was weird, mostly because I'm not finished with these yet. Once I'm done with those, I'll have a little bit more plastic, but there was a lot more waste. Maybe that shouldn't be surprising. Plus the cardboard box that it came in, but you can recycle cardboard. A couple other ways to save money and or time is a Walmart grocery pickup or Walmart delivery for the same ingredients that you would need to make this meal would be cheaper, easier. I might do an ingredient swap here or there. I'd pick a prepackaged sauce instead of making my own. I would do bulk rice instead of a smaller package. I might even switch the ground meat to something that was less expensive. So it would be convenient, it would be inexpensive, and it would be less money than EveryPlate. And remember, their advertisement to me was cheaper than Groceries. This meal box kit on their sale price was cheaper than Groceries. And my friends, today I have determined that not to be the case if you shop sales. If you don't shop sales and you go with the $10 version of the ground pork, like I showed you a little bit earlier, it would be identical. Grocery store and the EveryPlate sale box, the same. I have saved the best part for last. So for a limited time, I think this is for only the first 100 people. If you guys want to try EveryPlate for free, they are letting me give a free box to you guys. So I will have a link for that down in the description box. Your first box is 100% free. Honestly, my family thought the EveryPlate box was delicious. They also thought my homemade version was delicious. So either way, you can't go wrong. The box or the homemade version, both delicious. Have you tried any of the meal box kits? Is there one that you like? Is there one that you can recommend to me? Also, let me know that down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why don't you do that? That's totally free. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna take some of these leftovers over to my mom's house. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.